business plan. I don't know what kind of a model it would be. So I might just prototype something to see if I can learn enough from that to figure out what the purpose of the whole thing should be. And GTD sort of gives you the freedom to deal with both scenarios. But I would strongly urge you to look at the natural planning method and mind mapping.
Thank you. I'm going to close for new questions now, so we're going to do the ones on the list. I'm going to jump to C.T. Olsen, asking, David recommends using a brain dead list for days when you're mentally exhausted. Other tips for using bad time effectively? Todd?
Yeah, for using bad time effectively. You know, it's interesting. I don't keep an brain dead list. It's not that I don't ever feel brain dead, but I think my perspective on that is that I find that pretty much any mental state that I'm in, as long as I'm conscious, one of the things on my task list will speak to me. So you know, I might not be feeling particularly energetic or feel like I've got an awful lot of brain power, but at the same time, you know, some of the things on my task list might be fairly straightforward. Some of the things might be, you know, send an email to X based on some topic. You know, and it doesn't take that much thought. It's just forwarding a document or something. So, my experience is that no matter, you know, no matter what my mental state is, if I'm ready to do anything, then I can probably find something on my task list to, you know, that will benefit from the level of energy and focus that I can give it at that time. But I do like the idea of an brain dead list. I think that's it makes a great, you know, makes a great joke anyway, for people who are just getting into GTD, and for some people it's a great thing. It's just I don't personally tend to keep one.
I have a big one myself. A question from Nicecap to Frode. Can you cover the whole range from collect to engage with an iPhone app?
Sure, there are iPhone apps that do support certainly project lists and next actions, and there are even several, although I haven't played with them yet, there are several mind mapping tools for the iPhone. So if you're really insisting on only using an iPhone, you could probably get away with that. Although, you know, I have a 30-inch monitor on my desk just so I can have big mind maps. So there's something rich, you know, about that experience. So I can empty my head and retain perspective and work on complex stuff with a lot of moving parts. But aside from that, just certainly on the project level and next action level, yeah, it's easy. And if not, I'd be in big trouble. So, thanks.
Yeah. OmniFocus and Things are probably two of the most used iPhone apps at the moment. That's the comment.
And they're not paying me money to say this, I swear, but the OmniFocus user interface for the iPhone app is just beautiful, and in fact it was one of the first apps that I bought when I got an iPhone, and then I discovered to my disappointment that they only had a Mac version of the desktop OmniFocus.
That's why you're buying a Mac, right?
And actually that is one of my many reasons for switching to a Mac in the relatively near future. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, Todd, a last question for you before we round up. No, so you can hear me better now?
Yep, I can hear you just fine, thanks.
GTD works to get simple task out of mind. Many of my tasks are projects that require thinking about tasks to discover. Do you have any comments?
Yeah, and I think that's true of many of us, right? I mean, my job does not involve, you know, sending an email or browsing the web or doing one discrete task isn't what my job is about. My job is about affecting change for individuals and organizations by helping them get more out of their time using tools like GTD. So pretty much all of us have higher level things that we're trying to accomplish. It's the doing of the individual tasks that support that higher level thinking. But I think the way to think about it is the idea behind, for every one of your projects, coming up with a physical next action. That is, what's the very next thing I need to do? And it needs to be visible so that someone can see me doing it. Going through that thinking process sets you up so that you can, instead of the world, driving your activity because it's all coming at you and you're reacting to it, you actually get to the point where you can be selective. I always, for me, there's a visual image of being able to lean forward into life, rather than sort of leaning back and having the world just sort of wash over you over and over again. So going through this next action thinking puts you in that place. But to repeat the point, it's not about, the actions themselves are in support of these higher level goals that you make reference to.
Okay, we're wrapping up the Q&A session now. I would like to say thank you, Todd, and thank you, Frode.